question. Since I've been over here driving my truck, right? I'm a truck driver. That's our curtain that we put up when we're done, when we don't want you to see inside of the truck. And we got another curtain right here, and we really don't want you to see what we're up to when we're in the sleeper. My bed's messy. I got to fold laundry right now. I'm thinking about quitting trucking and going back to school. And I'm thinking about, I've just been pondering this thought, right? It's just been floating in my mind. Quitting trucking and going back to school to be a lawyer, going for which would be the next 7 years, because all I have is a GED, right? Which is one of the reasons why I became a truck driver. But this is why I'm thinking of this, okay? I'm thinking of this because about a month ago, maybe more than a month ago now, there was a youngster that came into the live stream and asked me, for advice on being a truck driver because he was going to trucking school or whatever, right? And he asked me for my advice on his career in trucking, and I told him to don't even do it. I told him to don't even go to that trucking school because he was 22 years old. And I told him, think about it. You're 22 years old. You're a youngster. Even if you were a fuck up in high school or whatever and you got bad grades or whatever, you're 22 years old. You got your whole life ahead of you. You're really young when you're 22. I'm 32. It's 10 years younger than me. Next summer, this coming summer, I'll be 33. When you're 22, you have the time to really look on a grand scheme of things, right? And really, like, your options are almost endless when you're 22. And why would you be a truck driver when you could go back to school and be a lawyer? The most that you'll get out of trucking is starting your own trucking company that'll get so big that maybe one day you'll be the next Night Transportation or Swift or whatever. That's most likely not going to happen, but maybe, right? That's the most you'll get out of trucking, and that's a big, like, what if. But even them, compared to you as a lawyer, right? If you become a truck driver, you could become like a trucking company, and start your own trucking company, right? Big deal. You'll make some money. You'll make maybe even a couple million over the time of the lifespan of the company. But if you go back to school and you become a lawyer, when you start a business, you'll start a law firm. You know what I mean? And you're going to blow a trucking company out of the water. You know how I know that? Because you could start a law firm that focuses on suing trucking companies for hundreds of millions of dollars. And you could probably go around and sue all of them if you're like a work rights lawyer or an injury lawyer. You know what I mean? And if you really want to make the big bucks, you could become a lawyer and work in medical malpractice. And now you could sue hospitals, you could sue big pharma, you could sue doctors, you could sue insurance companies, like health insurance companies, dude. You could sue someone in their small family practice or, Kaiser Permanente or something. You can be involved in lawsuits that'll pay you hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you're 22 years old, why would you be a truck driver? I told him, don't do that. You're 22 years old. What the fuck are you doing being a truck driver? I told him truck drivers don't make a lot of money. For the most part, they don't. And when you really sit back and think about it, truck drivers don't make a lot of money. Even if they make like 120 grand or whatever, which is good money in trucking as a company driver at certain jobs. Most places in trucking, even if you're 3 years into it, you could still be sitting at $50,000 or $60,000 a year with all that experience, right? If you don't want to train people, which pretty much means if you don't want to sit shotgun, if you don't want to sit in the passenger seat while, a stranger that you barely met that barely got their CDL is driving your semi truck, your loaded semi truck in the winter or whenever. You know what I mean? If you don't want to train people and never go home, then you won't really see $100,000 at most trucking companies, especially at mega carriers, right? Which is where a lot of people end up working. Um, if you run solo by yourself, dedicated OTR regional, there's only a handful of jobs in trucking where you're going to make six figures, right? Like fucking like maybe UPS. It's really hard to get into UPS. I don't know if you guys know that. You don't just get hired off the street within UPS. They usually hire from within. What I have no idea if these guys are getting hired right off the street with UPS. Um, I checked their website. They're never hiring in my area, right? I rarely see them hiring for CDL drivers at all, UPS, right? But they're one of them, you know? It was all over the news where they're making like 100 grand now, the UPS drivers. So there's UPS, Walmart, a few of the food service companies, you know what I mean? They're gonna work your ass off, like the food service companies. And if you do make 100 grand, as a truck driver, say you make $150,000, which is a lot of money, right? If you're an owner operator, or if you're just in a really good company like Walmart and you've been there for about 10, 15, 20 years, and you're just raking it in from all your pay raises because of your seniority and all that, that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. This is what I was telling this youngster. In the grand scheme of things, if you're 22 years old, you have the option to go back to school and become a doctor, a lawyer, right? I wouldn't go back to school to work in tech because they're all getting laid off now. I'm gonna do a video. I did an old one. I'm gonna do another video about trucking versus tech. And right now, truck drivers, as far as just job stability and being able to just have a job and not get fired and laid off like that, how truck drivers actually have it better than tech workers right now. Why some truck drivers, not all, but some, are probably making more money than tech workers and have more job security than tech workers, right? But I wouldn't go back to school to be a tech worker, you know? If you're 22 years old, why would you be a truck driver? And, you know, ever since I said that, not right away, but in the past few days, I've started thinking about that about myself. Like, I'm 32 years old. Yeah, I'm getting older. You know what I mean? You're not young when you're in your 30s. You're getting older. You're getting up there, right? And yeah, see, you're going to school for cybersecurity. That's good. That's a good one, dude. But like I said, in the grand scheme of things, truck drivers don't make a lot of money. You know what a lot of money is? Is when you're making mid six figures, like $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Now you're making good money, and beyond that, like that's good money to be made right there. You know what I mean? If I went to school to become a lawyer at the age that I'm at now, it would take me, if I doubled down on my first like 4 years, it would be 2 years at a community college and then another 2 years at a state university. I'd probably just stay right there in town and go to UC Stanislaus or whatever. That way I don't got to travel far, you know, and I could still live at home. And then it would be another like 3 to 4 years in law school. And I would have to apply for law school, you know what I mean? And just apply everywhere. I get it done in about 7, maybe 8 years, which means I'd be like 40 years old by the time I'd be done with school and I'd be a practicing lawyer, right? 7 to 8 years, I'll have all my credentials, I'll have all my schooling done, I'll be done with law school, and I would have passed the bar, you know what I mean? You got to pass the state bar or whatever. And I'm thinking about this, like, you know, a lot of people aren't going to like this, but this is just the truth, you know what I mean? especially for anyone who's young who's watching this, or just anyone, because you could always make a change. There comes a time in your life when you are too old to make a drastic career change. I think if you're in your mid to late 50s, I mean, yeah, you could learn a new skill, but to go back to school and become a lawyer in your mid to late 50s, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, people do it, but fuck, you know what I mean? Um, Even with me, I'm thinking like, man, am I too old to do it? Am I too old to go back to school to become a lawyer? Because someone said cybersecurity. My mom said I could go back to school and get a quick degree and become a surgical technician. Like when they're doing open heart surgery or whatever, I'd be the guy next to the surgeon, just passing him his tools, and I'd be making $60,000-$70,000 doing that. But the way I look at it is this, okay? So I feel like I might be selling myself short as a truck driver, okay? And I'm not saying that trucking is a bad job, because there are some fucked up jobs out there, you know? There's a lot worse jobs that you could be doing than a truck driver, you know what I mean? You could be a janitor at like some fucked up building, you know what I mean, with drug addicts, and they're defecating on the floor, and you got to come and clean it up, and there's like some really bad jobs out there. Trucking, it's dangerous. Truck drivers are underpaid, and that's where the mistreatment comes from. Those are the top two. This is a very dangerous job, especially in the winter. This is very dangerous. Anytime that you've shut down and you made it through a day of driving in the rain, especially in the snow, you know what I mean, storms and all that, windstorms, and you've made it through your shift and you shut down for the day, you should give yourself a pat on the back, because you survived something that a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle. A lot of people wouldn't be able to drive an 18-wheeler loaded tractor trailer through bad winter weather like that, you know what I mean? Or even summer weather, you know? And then I start thinking, like, like go to a truck stop. This is what I was saying earlier. A lot of people aren't going to like this, but it's the truth. Go to a truck stop and look at a lot of old truck drivers and ask yourself, is that what you want for your future? And you can't tell someone's financial situation just by looking at them. I mean, you could be looking at some old dude hopping out of a truck at a truck stop, and he might be worth a couple million. You never know, right? But look at that, and then go to the parking lot of, what is it, like Morgan and Morgan or whatever, like these big, well-known law firms, or just go to your local law firm and just park in the parking lot and look at the lawyers that come out, and especially look at the old ones, and ask yourself, would you rather be the old truck driver at the truck stop, or would you rather be the old lawyer? If it's all the same, if we're going to live this life that we live, and we're going to get up and go to work every day, and we're going to put in these long hours, because lawyers put in long hours like us. Some lawyers put in longer hours. Some lawyers do work more than 70 hours, right? Some of them could work 80 hours, believe it or not, especially if they're on a big case and they have a lot of assignments, On the grand scheme of things, I feel like I might be selling myself short as a truck driver. And I fear that if I stay in trucking, then I'm going to have a lot of regret when I get older. When it might be too old, I might be too old to change my situation. I might be in my 50s looking back at today when I was at the age 32. I might be 52 looking back at me when I was 32, when I had this stupid idea of going back to school and becoming a lawyer. And I might be 52 wishing that I did it. Something could happen, where I'm like, fuck. Or you just never know, where, the industry could go to shit. Who knows? Who knows, dude? Anything could happen. But let's just say trucking is the same way that it is right now when I'm 52, which would be 20 years from now, right? Sounds like a long time, but it goes by like that. It does. The older you get, time just it goes by. Let's just say trucking is still decent. It could be better, but it's decent. By the time I'm 52, I might be looking back at this day when I was 32, thinking like, man, 20 years passed. It would have taken me 8 years to become a lawyer, and I would have been 12 years, right? Yeah, I would have been 12 years into my practice. I'd have been a 52-year-old lawyer at a law firm making God knows how much money, or maybe even with my own firm. And I'd be the top partner at my own firm. And who knows? I might be looking back at it when I'm 52 years old, thinking like, man, I could have went back to school when I was 32, and at the age of 52, I could have had my own law firm that specialized in medical malpractice, right? And or you know, workplace law. You know what I mean? Like workers' rights laws and shit like that. Whatever, like that part of the law, or injury law, or corporate law, or whatever, right? And I would, man, the difference between a lawyer and a truck driver is when a lawyer goes to work, when a lawyer puts in 70 hours, at the law firm, they're going to make what we make is like a dollar what they're going to make. You know what I mean? If you're a lawyer with your own practice, or even if you're at some big law firm and you guys just won a big case, you know what I mean, where you guys sued Johnson and Johnson or Pfizer or Kaiser Permanente or United Healthcare or whatever, you guys just sued them. Think of this. This is people do this at work. What I'm about to tell you. There's lawyers out there that work at law firms where the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Nah, dude, there's some crackhead outside. Oh, fuck. Hold up. They got it. I'm strapped. I got mine right here. I got this in case somebody fucks around. God, that's scary, huh? I think they're gone. I know, right? Fuck, I ain't gonna lie, dude. My heart was going. Uh, Somebody was banging on the truck, talking about help, help. And there was like a chick out there with him. I heard a chick out there saying, "Who was that? Who was that?" And then dude was like, "I don't know, I don't know." And then he was walking around saying, "Help, help." Um, just in case they need help, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna come right back though. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna just call the boys, just let them know. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna end the stream right now, just in case they do need help. I'll be right back. Or not, hold up. I'm gonna keep the stream going. I'm gonna just make a phone. That's like some Kick or some Twitch shit, dude. Yeah, they were receiving other calls about that. That was pretty sketch. I called, so, if they're still in the area. But what are these comments saying? Let me read the comments. I was just going to say lawyer beats trucking alone because it's safer. Truckers risk lives every day on the road, even when we're parked. Look at what just happened. Look at what just happened, dude. Fool, what if homeboy was out there like leaking? What if whoever was like banging on the door, what if they got shanked, fool? Nah. I'm at scam. Could have been. It could have been like a setup. Yeah, you're right. It could have been like help, help. Then you open the door and like. Yeah, it could have been. Open the door. Then make it. Yeah, it could have been. That's why I wasn't gonna open the door for shit. I made sure I got to get something more than this. I got bear spray. Always lock your doors with the cargo straps across each door. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like the trailer straps. Yeah, you're talking about those trailer straps? Yeah. I saw Alex Nino, the way he does it. He like ties up his seatbelt through the driver door and then through the steering wheel or whatever. Yeah, the seatbelt. I saw Alex Nino does that because he sleeps in some sketchy ass areas too in the Bay Area, and yeah, you can use the seatbelt. Yeah. You guys ever had some shit like that happen? I ain't never had no shit like that happen. That was the first for me. I ain't never had nobody, no crackhead like banging on my doors. You never know, bro. there could be a body out there right now, and the cops come and get it. Because when I called 911 right now, they told me to hold up, and they were getting other calls about it. So either, what time is it? They're not here at the store yet. They could have been like going to other trucks. What I was told when I got like, yeah, like, well, hold on. You said you should get a carry license. I'll comment on that right now. What I was told, no, what the hell, brain fart. Yeah, the cops said that they were getting other calls about it. So whoever did that, I think they were banging on other trucks as well. So who knows? There's hella homeless people by where I'm at. They all line up by the beach. A lot of the homeless people. Scary, huh? You guys ever watch those van life YouTubers? I guarantee you they go through shit like that. Always gotta keep a gat in the truck. Well, I mean, what I was told at CR England when I got my CDL, I got my permit on my own, but I got my CDL at England. They said we're not allowed to have guns in the truck. Like, not just company policy. Most companies don't allow you to carry, but I don't think like the laws allow truck drivers in California to carry like that. I don't know about other states, maybe in Texas. If you're owner operator, it's your property because it's your truck. But if you're a company driver, I don't know if that's your domicile or because it's not your property because it's the company's property. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that would work because in California, I think you have your gun registered to your home address, right? Yeah, you got your gun registered to your home address, so that's in your county. Us truck drivers, we're not in our county. We go like hella far, you know what I mean? And especially if you're crossing state lines, I don't think a California CCW is valid in Oregon or any other state, like cross country or whatever. That's the part that sucks about it. I mean, you can, like I got a shank in here. Where's my shank at? Fuck. Well, I had one. I gotta keep one on me. It sucks, dude. We should be able to carry guns in our truck. You still going to Prime Inc? Well, that's the thing, right? One reason why I'm kind of doubting, it used to be federal law that you couldn't carry a firearm in a commercial vehicle, but they might have changed it. I don't think they did, dude. Be careful how many rounds it holds. Homeless people are under the influence of drugs. They could be crazy. Yeah, they could be dangerous, dude. I parked in the Bronx, and in 30 minutes, someone was trying to break in. He ran off when I got up and started cursing. Yeah, usually that's all it takes, right? Which was kind of dangerous for me to not say nothing. Because they might have figured, oh, no one's in there, and they might have tried to break in. You know what I mean? What up? You just missed it. Someone was like outside banging on the windows, dude. Yeah, and other people called in about it. I ain't gonna check in till about 4:30, about an hour. Because they get here at 4, but I'm gonna go outside when other trucks are here. Because my appointment ain't till 5:30. But yeah, this live stream got all fucked up. We were having a meaningful conversation, And then, dude, some crackhead started banging on the truck. Started banging on the door, telling me, help me, fuck that. Helping your ass? The fuck? I had to grab my shit, you know? I bought this at the truck stop the other day. Um, does California require a carry license? Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. They don't want you to have a gun, period, in California. They're strict out here on guns. Is where you park is always question how safe. Is where you park is always question how safe is the parking. It's pretty safe out here in Eureka. I haven't had no one fuck with me, right? But yeah, when I get here, it's always in the middle of the night, dude. You know what's been going on at my job? I've been trying to start early. I've been making an effort to go into work early, so I don't got to be driving out at in the night like this, right? And dude, every time that I'm just about to leave my yard to go get my trailer, I get that "Can you do me a favor?" call from dispatch, dude. I was gonna ask you, can you do us a favor? Can you do us a favor? Dude, anytime you get a call from dispatch and it's "Can you do me a favor?" it's gonna be some bullshit that's gonna fuck up your day and set you back. You know what I mean? Like if you try to get out early, that "Can you do me a favor?" There goes your day, dude. It's always some bullshit, right? I've been having to recover loads and all that, and dude, they don't pay shit to recover loads, right? I should just start telling them no. But when you do them a favor, like help them out on a load recovery or whatever, later on they kind of do pay it back. You know what I mean? Like if you want days off or you want like specific loads or whatever, they'll kind of, like scratch your back because you scratch their back. But when they do, it's just so annoying, dude, right? Because it's been having me driving around at night. It sounded like gunshots at first. It was someone banging on the truck. It was crazy that we got that on stream. There's a saying, I'd rather be jumped by 12 than carried by... I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Yeah, for sure, bro. I never worked for Martin. Think about where you park. I mean, we don't have nowhere to park right here at this customer. There's no truck stop or nothing. We just got to be right here waiting for them to open. What sucks is, dude, I got a reefer. So I guess the reefer helps because they can't really hear you in the truck because the reefer's so loud. But then it makes me hard for me to hear what might be going on outside. Thought I heard somebody. But what were you guys talking about earlier? Looking to pick me up. Okay, we get it. Mine too. Cartel's knocking. Public transport. Truckers can't have weapons in the truck. Yeah, that's when it happened. Move out of Fuel Island. Yeah, so when did it happen? It happened like right at 3. Right? It's crazy, dude. Right at 3 o'clock, the evil hour. That's when that shit happened. That's some bad luck right there. You can use a CDL to get a job working for your city public transportation system. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, you could be a bus driver. You got to get your passenger's endorsement, though. Old lawyer or tech worker, 16 people watching, hit the like button. Show. Plumber, electrician, HVAC is where the money is, and it's only going to get better for them. Yeah, you could do that, too. 55 an hour is what entry-level cyber tech security workers make. Cyber security workers make. They make 55 an hour entry. That's good, right? And cybersecurity, I don't know that that's going to get taken over by AI because it's always changing and it's like cybersecurity. You know what I mean? I mean, it could happen to where AI takes that over, but I just don't see that happening. I started driving at 21. I am almost 29 and I regretted it, but luckily I have a good paying job. I mean, 29, dude, you're younger than me. You can go back to school. Aren't you looking into Prime Inc? Truck in 2 years. I'm going to school for cybersecurity. Okay, so I'm caught up on the comments. Inside my tractor too, in the dark. Hey man, you're scared. No, I thought I heard somebody out there. Well, they said they were going to send a car out here. I don't know if anyone's back. But if I was you, move to a safe spot with more lights and parking. Yeah, dude, I'm on the side of the store right now. You know, it is well lit up where I'm at. It's just late. You know, they're not going to get here for like another hour. But back to what I was talking about, dude. One reason why I wouldn't want to go back to school. Oh, that's another truck. Let's go inside real quick. I'm gonna ask that other guy if he heard anything. Let's go outside real quick. This truck just pulled up. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. I'm gonna see if that's why he pulled up. Because I don't think they're here yet. Hey, yo. Did some crackhead come banging on your truck right now? Did someone come like banging on your truck?
No.
Dude, I was sitting in my truck and some crackhead came like banging on my door.
Yeah,
dude.
there's a lot of crackheads here.
Yeah, I called 911 and they said they were getting other calls about it. So I don't know if
There's a lot of crackheads here. I don't even open the doors.
Yeah, fuck no. Yeah, no. Yeah, 4. Yeah, it's usually 4. It's like 4, 10. Usually. Yeah, you'll usually see them get here around like 3:45, 50. Wait, you been here before?
Yeah.
You've had people banging on your door and shit?
No, but they asked me for cigarettes and one time they asked me for cash.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, we're coming up from here and they shoved me over there like, what the hell?
Oh, I thought like come up to your truck and ask you.
No. Well, yeah, if they come, don't just ignore them.
Oh, fuck yeah, I didn't open the door.
Yeah, they'll open the door, don't answer nothing.
Yeah, well, he came to the door. He was all like, help me, help me. Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, look. They'll get here around like 3:50. All right. I don't know if you guys heard that, but let me get in the truck quick. Now he just came because he thought it was his appointment time. He thought they would be here by now. But I'm curious to know what happened. Check your fifth wheel before you move the truck. Hey! Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna check the whole thing. My tires and all that. Make sure they didn't fuck with it, you know? I think I would have felt it if they pulled the handle, but no, probably not, no. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. You should read Google reviews on that place. Yeah, someone banged on my truck. You were here, you heard it. And so another driver just pulled up right now. I thought he pulled up because someone was fucking with him, because if you're not parked right here on the property, you park on the street. So I thought he probably got freaked out. That's why he came over here, but nah. So anyways, back to the topic before we got rudely interrupted by that crackhead. Yeah, one reason why I wouldn't quit trucking to become a lawyer, to go back to school, is because I think about it like this. It'll take me about 8 years to become a lawyer, right? Within 8 years in trucking, I could do a lot. I could go to Prime. I could move out of state. I'd have to move out of state first to go lease with Prime, because they don't lease California drivers, right? I could move to Nevada or Arizona, do a walk-away lease with Prime, and then once I get, 14, 15 grand to put down on a truck, I could do the lease purchase. And I'll be making a lot more money. I'll be making good money, right? And I'll be having the bills too as a business owner, but you work it. And from what I hear, they help you. They help you like kind of manage the business, because a lot of the lease operators that they have are new truck drivers that got a CDL through Prime. So they know that they don't know shit. So there's a lot of fuel discounts. They got a lot of good paying freight because they're a mega carrier. And they got the escrow account that you put a lot of your money in that'll help you out. It's your own money, but it comes out of your check, and it helps to pay for like your breakdowns and shit and the maintenance and all that, right? And obviously you're making good money, dude. The Prime drivers that I listen to, that I talk to, they're making like 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a week net, what goes into their account. And I feel like 8 years of that, especially in a lease purchase, I could be sitting really pretty, right? Versus being a broke college student for the next 8 years, you know? But here's the thing. I could set myself up really good at Prime, you know, or even if I got into Walmart private fleet for the next like 8 years or 7 or 6 years or whatever, because I think it'll take me like 1 more year to be eligible to go to Walmart. But say I got into Walmart, right? That'd be like 30 something years that I'd be able to just stay at Walmart until I retire, right? And I'd become well over a millionaire with Walmart, you know what I mean? But I'd be a truck driver. If I lost those 8 years out of trucking in school to become a lawyer, I feel like 4 years into my career as a lawyer, I think I would be ahead of a truck driver that's 10 years into his profession, honestly, right? If I could become a partner at a law firm that specializes in some heavy shit like medical malpractice, suing big corporations for wrongful terminations or breaking laws, you know what I mean? Like, for example, say I worked for a law firm that sued Amazon for selling a toy that little kids were choking on or shit like that, you know what I mean? Dude, my bonuses at a law firm, if I helped a case that we won for a huge settlement, and you're doing that, and then that's your career. The thing about lawyers is this: the amazing thing about being a lawyer is they pretty much use the law to get rich. That's pretty much what they do. Yeah, they're there to uphold the Constitution, to, you know what I mean, make sure that big corporations and bad actors are being held accountable in the court of law, you know what I mean, and to defend criminals if they're going to be a criminal defense lawyer. I wouldn't go into that side of the law, you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't go into it to like, I'll be straight up. I'd go into being a lawyer just to make money. And to do that, you would have to be a very knowledgeable lawyer. I would do everything I can to stay up on the law. And one thing about being a lawyer is whatever part of the law you go into, it becomes a little easier, right? It becomes a little easier because say you're a criminal defense attorney, right? You need to know about a lot of shit. You need to know about a lot of Supreme Court cases. You need to know about, you know, different situations, different court rulings, a lot of different laws, because when you're a criminal defense attorney, you're representing people that are in court for various reasons, right? If you're only doing injury law, then, you know, what you need to specialize in and what you need to be knowledgeable in court narrows down. You don't need to know about all this other shit that has to do with like homicide cases, theft, robbery, you know, crime, right? No, you're just focusing on injury and who's at fault and, you know, the laws that go into that and the Supreme Court rulings or whatever that falls into that part of the law. So your job becomes a lot easier, right? Same thing with something as complex as medical malpractice. If you're doing medical malpractice law, you're not focusing on, you might be focusing on homicide if it's a negligent homicide case where someone went into surgery for open heart or a heart valve and they ended up dying. It could be a negligent homicide, right? But you're, you know, nevertheless, no matter what you're doing, right, you're using the law to get rich. That's the type of lawyer that I would want to be, right? And it's not corrupt. It's not, because you're still representing your client, right? Like, say I go into being a lawyer. Say I quit trucking and I go to school for the next 8 years and I become a lawyer and I become a workers' rights lawyer or whatever, a workplace lawyer, you know, and I'm representing people that got wrongful terminated, or they feel like they got fired for something that goes, you know, under wrongful termination. You know, you give them the best representation that you can get, but ultimately you're using that to sue Walmart, Amazon, wherever, you know what I mean, wherever they were working at, to sue them for that big paycheck. That's really what you're after. That's why you go to law school and you study up on the case and you stay up all night and you work real hard, you know what I mean? And on top of that, depends if you're billing the client. Well, again, how do you think divorce attorneys get rich? Divorce attorneys, they work in the divorce sector of the law because they know that a lot of people have a lot of money. People have a lot of money. So they're making double the paycheck, you know what I mean? They get a piece of whatever they can get for their client, and they're billing them by the hour. And dude, some of these divorce attorneys charge like $500 an hour, dude. And they're spending hours on the case. And say you're a divorce attorney in Los Angeles, or up here up north in the Bay Area, in San Francisco or the Silicon Valley, and you're dealing with these rich people that are getting divorced, dude, you're set. You're set. You know what I mean? Um, you know what I mean? Like lawyers, the type of law that I would go into, I wouldn't really go into the criminal side or to the prosecuting side. I would stay within like the lawsuit side, to where I'm suing for medical malpractice or wrongful termination, maybe even injury, anything where it has to do with just a big payout, with where the settlements are. You know what I mean? Because every case that I would be working on, I'd be working for the end goal is the settlement and the negotiating of the settlement on how big I could get my settlement. You know what I mean? For me and my client. And dude, yeah, the client, they're gonna get more than me. I'm gonna get my cut, but they're gonna get more than me. You know what I'm saying? But dude, all of my cases have to do with settlements, whether it's, like I said, medical malpractice, wrongful termination, injury. It's settlements, dude. It's just money. So 4 years into my career as a lawyer versus 8 years of being in trucking, I think I would be ahead financially as a lawyer. You know what I mean? It would suck because the next 8 years, say I were to quit this month, you know what I mean? Say I made this decision this month to quit trucking and to sign up for classes. I would have to start from the bottom, dude, because all I have is a GED. I would have to go to a community college for the next 2 years. What is it? To get your associates, and then after that you get your bachelor's, or it could be the other way around or whatever. I have to put 2 years in at community college and then transfer to a university. So that's 4 years. It's 4 years that I could have spent in trucking, but I'm gonna be broke as a college adult, no longer a kid, an adult in my 30s, going to college. You know what I mean? Something that I should have done years ago, but I'm doing it now. I think 32, 33 is still young enough to go back to college. I do, especially if you're gonna be something that's gonna make you a lot of money, like a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I would have to apply for law school once I'm done with my in-state university. You know what I mean? And I got my 4 year degree or whatever it is from community and transferred to the in-state. I would have to apply for law school, and I'd have to get good grades in law school, because from what I've researched, law firms, they only want to hire attorneys, especially new attorneys that are fresh out of law school, who were like the head of their class or who got really good grades and worked really hard, because it shows that that's how they're going to perform in the law firm, you know, and you'd be starting off at the bottom, you know. So another thing that would suck about quitting trucking and going to school to be a lawyer is, once I'm out of law school and I'm in a law firm, I'm going to be starting off at the bottom of the law firm, at the bottom of the company. You know what I mean? Just getting the paperwork together for trial, you know what I mean, for cases that my firm is working on, right? Eventually, I'd probably step it up and become a partner, but I think I'd be able to do that, become a partner within like 2 to 3 years of working at a law firm, right? Just working from the ground up, versus spending 8 years as a truck driver. Honestly, I think it makes sense to quit trucking and to go back to school for the next 7 to 8 years, be broke. But by the time I'm done, I would have been done with, 4 years of college, 2 years community, 2 years in-state, law school, and the bar exam, and I'll be a sworn-in lawyer. You know what I mean? And then I'll be able to make hella money. What are you guys talking about? I don't got shit, dude. I'd have to start from the bottom. don't always make bank, especially in the beginning. Yeah, of course, because in the beginning, you know what I mean? I did recover a driver once. He used to be a lawyer before trucking. He said the money wasn't good for him. Um, that's backwards right there. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but for someone to go from being a lawyer to a truck driver, that's a bad move right there. That's a bad move. I would rather struggle and make it in law than trucking. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it, bro. Trying to pass the CA bar exam, hardest exam in the nation. Yeah, well, people do it all the time. No fucking way. Hold on. Oh, dude, this is the meat swinger. Jesus Christ. Robert, dude, you are a straight fanboy. I'm sorry, dude. Like, this. I thought you unsubscribed from me, dude. Go to AC school courses. Nights out here in West Texas, Monday night through Friday. Morning, but home every day. Ramos, you ever watch YouTube channels called Stay Loaded? No, I don't. Look, here's the thing. I know if I were to quit trucking and go back to school, when I'm done with it, I'd be 40 years old, starting off in a new career, and I'd be a lawyer just starting off his career at the age of 40. I would have 40 to 50, 10, 50 to 60, 20, like 25 years until I'm 65. I'd be a practicing lawyer for 25 years. I think once you're past 65, it's probably best just to hang it up. Because by then you just start getting old and your brain just isn't there. You're not as sharp as you once were. You know what I mean? That's kind of when you hit the wall as far as being in your career. 25 years as a lawyer, you know what I mean? Versus, what would it be? 25 years as a lawyer. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 25 years as a lawyer versus 33 years, right? 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Yeah, versus 33 years as a truck driver. I think a lawyer, in my situation, when I think about it, I think a lawyer who only has 25 years of practice until they just get old and they have to retire, right? Or not. Maybe there's some 68-year-old lawyer out there that's still out there working. Could be, right? I think I'd be ahead financially as a lawyer that have done 25 years of practice of service as a lawyer versus 33 years is what I got ahead of me as a truck driver. 33 years, say I were to get into Walmart next year, I'd have like 32 years served at Walmart private fleet versus 25 years as a practicing lawyer. Honestly, dude, I think I'm going to do it. Trucking's cool. It's cool, but dude, I mean, you only live one life, you know what I mean? And when I really look at the grand scheme of things, I feel like if I were to make a drastic career change and to do something as fucking ballsy as going back to school and being a lawyer. Now, I could go back to school and become an x-ray technician at a hospital, and I could get that done, I think, in like 2 to 4 years, maybe just in 2, right? Because that's more vocational, I think. It wouldn't take no more than 2 years to go back to school to become an x-ray lab technician and working for like a hospital. You know what I mean? For like Kaiser doing x-rays or whatever. I can get that done in 4 years. I think they make around like 120 a year, which is good. It's a chill job. You know, you go into a hospital, you work your shift, and you go home. That's it. Get overtime. That's it. Get all your benefits. It's good. But I don't know, dude. If I could go back to school and be a lawyer, and that's what I told that kid in the live stream. I told a 22-year-old kid that was in my live stream. He said he was starting CDL school in about a week or two, and he wanted to know my advice. I told him to not go to that CDL school and to not become a truck driver because he was 22 years old. And I told him that he's still young enough to do something better than being a truck driver. I told him, you're 22 years old, you're going to become a truck driver. You're selling yourself short. You don't need to be a truck driver. You're 22 years old. You can go back to school and be a doctor or a lawyer or something, right? Because truck drivers, they just don't make that much money, dude. They just don't. When you like 22 years old on the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't want my 22-year-old son to be a truck driver. If I had a kid, a daughter or a son, I wouldn't want them to be a truck driver if they were young like that. No, I'd tell them, no, dude, get some real fucking money, you know? Because the thing is this, man. When you're young, you think you got all the time in the world. Because you do when you're young. But when you're old like me, dude, you're 32 years old. Some people would say I'm still young. I feel like I'm still younger than someone who's in their 40s or 50s, obviously, right? I got some time, right? Not as much time as I had when I was 22, but 32, I still got some time, you know? But now that I've been broke pretty much all my life, except a few times when I was making good money for a little bit, I know how important money is. A lot of youngsters say that they want to go to college and, you know, they want a fulfilling career. They want something that they could be proud of, to go to work and be proud of what they do. When you get older, you start to realize that's all bullshit. You need to come out here and make money, dude. You need to go out here and make money, right? That's what it's all about. I mean, all this like finding your passion and doing what you're passionate about and going to school for your passion and all that, that's all bullshit when you get older, right? That's why I think, you know, I just feel like if I do stay in trucking and say I'm at Walmart Private Fleet, right, for the next 30 something years, and I'm making all this money as a truck driver, and I only go home for 2 days out of the week, if that. Because when I talk to the Walmart recruiter, they're running 6 days and they're only going home for a reset, you know? They're not even running 5 days like that. They might be, but from what she told me, they're running 6. They had a 6-day schedule available. You know, is this really how I want to live my life for the next 30 years? Is to just live in the truck and go home for like a day and a half, you know, each week. If I went to Walmart Private Fleet, at least I would be going home for a day and a half every week. If I go to Prime and I become a lease operator, yeah, I'll be making a lot of money as a truck driver, right? And I'll have a solid carrier to back me up. But dude, my life's gonna pass me by and I'm just gonna be in a truck, right? And like I said, lawyers work probably about the same amount of hours that we do, sometimes even more. But the difference is when they do it, they make real fucking money. You know, especially if they got their own firm. Say I open up a law firm in divorce, in family law, in divorce court, you know what I mean? And I'm dealing with settlements, with what the husband or the wife is going to get. Who do you think's doing better? A owner-operator truck driver or a lawyer with his own firm? The lawyer. All day. You know what an injury lawyer is doing? An injury lawyer is in court all week. There's injury lawyers out there, accident lawyers out there that specialize in trucking accidents that are suing Knight, England, Swift, Prime all day. Mega carriers, medium-sized carriers, small owner operators, they're suing them and their insurance companies all day, making bank all day, dude. All day, right? I feel like that could be me. It could. Or I could just still be right here in this truck for the next 30 years. And one thing I fear about staying in trucking is that I'll stay in trucking for the next 30 something years and I won't have nothing to show for. You know, I'll be an old man that just worked all his life to collect Social Security. And, you know, I got a friend who, his dad is a retired truck driver. He's a retired over the road truck driver. And he doesn't have anything to his name. He doesn't have any money saved up. He only has a car to his name. And all he does is just collect Social Security. And he's too old to work. You know what I mean? Like, homeboy has back problems and he's just old. And, you know, when I heard about that, when my friend told me about his dad, who's a retired truck driver who doesn't have anything, I thought, like, fuck. I mean, he's one of many old retired truck drivers that don't have anything. A lot of those owner-operator truck drivers that you see at truck stops, a lot of them don't have anything, right? They got this dream that one day their owner-operator business is going to take off and they're going to start making all this money. And some of them have that dream their entire career as an owner-operator truck driver or as a company driver, and they never make that money. And their life passes them by, and their career doesn't give them much in the end. You know what I'm saying? And I'm afraid that as a truck driver, that's what's going to happen. I told this youngster that asked me what he should do in his trucking career, and I told him to don't even do it, to don't go to that trucking school, to go to actual school and get a degree and become something that's going to make you a lot of money because you're 22 years old. I told him that the reason why I was telling him that is because the past 3 years, I'm going on 4. This coming April will be 4 years that I'll be in trucking. And yeah, you know, I paid off debt when I was at CR England. I'm starting to pay off debt again. I accumulated some more debt, some credit card debt. And I'll pay it off, you know what I mean? But it's not as much as before, but the most I did was just pay off some debt, dude. Other than that, I don't have anything to show for these past 3 years in trucking. I don't have anything to show for, right? I'm not making good money. Some weeks I don't even make $1,000. I'm not making that much money, dude. You know what I mean? I got a position where I can like live with my family and go back to school for the next 8 years. I you know, I could do 4, but I feel like if I'm going to go back to school, like if I go back to school, I want it to be for something that's going to make me the most amount of money possible, right? And I think that's being a lawyer. I think a lawyer, if I go to school to be a lawyer, I'll be making more than a tech worker. I'll be making more money, possibly, than a lot of therapists. You know what I mean? Versus being a truck driver. This is something to think about, man. I mean, if I did this, I would end this channel and start a new channel. Or not. I don't know. I mean, this channel is really niche. It's really trucking niche. So I probably would have to start a new channel just to get off of this subject on YouTube. But yeah, it's just something I've been thinking about, getting out of trucking. I think I'm going to do it. I would have to go to my local community college, which is Modesto Junior College, MJC. I'd have to go over there and talk to whoever, counselor, whatever the fuck they're called, and just see what I would have to do to start doing classes. And it would just sucks, dude. Like, I'll be broke for my 30s. Others showing up to work. I would be broke for all of my 30s, dude. I'd be a broke 32, I mean 33, 4, 5. I'd be broke for all of my 30s. I would work part-time, but I would make school my main priority just to get it over with. You know, if I go back to school to be a lawyer now, and I'm fucking old, dude, I'm in my 30s, I can do it. But that means for the rest of my 30s, I'm going to be broke and in college and accumulating student debt, dude. But in the end, when I graduate from law school, you know, and I pass the bar exam, in the end, I'll be a lawyer, right? I'll be in a position then to make way more fucking money, dude. Even if I start off, say I don't make shit for the first 2 or 3 years. Well, in my 4th and 5th year, that's when I'll start seeing a lot of money. And you know what some lawyers do right off the bat? Some lawyers right off the bat, they start their own firm right out of law school. They just go into business for themselves. You know what I mean? So let me read some of these comments. Damn, bro, one of the best videos you ever did because I'm doing the same. That's good. Get that degree and law license. Gotta do what you gotta do. Engineering. Engineering, probably not. Probably not, dude. I mean, it would be cool to be in my 40s and move. I mean, here's the thing. Here's another thing. Okay, I want to talk about this. Here's the thing about people like lawyers. When you're a lawyer, okay, you live in places, you know, you have the ability to live in places where most people just can't live anymore. You have the ability to live in places like LA, New York, San Francisco, like DC, you know what I mean, Washington, DC, the places where it's like popping, where it's to the point now where it's really only elite people live in LA and like San Francisco and DC and New York, because you got to have so much money to be there. But if you're a lawyer, that's where you live. It's no longer living like out in Timbuktu. I mean, you can, you can, you know what I mean? But if I passed the bar in California, I would move to LA and I'd go be a lawyer in LA, right? Where all the money is. San Francisco too, but I mean, there's a lot of medical malpractice law firms in San Francisco. But if I were to go back to school and become a lawyer, I'd probably move to LA, dude. You know? And because when you're a truck driver, you got to live, like, no matter what type of line of work you do, you got to live where your industry is. If you're a truck driver, you're living in places like Bakersfield, California, you know, up and down the Central Valley, up and down the 99, Highway 5, Tracy, you know, places where there's like a lot of industrial warehouses. You know what I mean? If you're a truck driver, you don't really live in San Francisco. There's no trucking in San Francisco. There's no trucking out there. You know what I mean? There's jobs you can get with your CDL, very few and far between. There's Recology in San Francisco. There's Waste Management in Oakland. There's Republic Services in Fremont and other parts of the Bay Area. But the trucking industry is not really in the Bay. It's like in maybe parts of the South Bay, but it's really centered around the Central Valley, around the farm areas. So those are the type of areas you're going to have to live in if you're a truck driver in California. You're going to have to live in like Tulare, Visalia, Fresno. I mean, it's nothing against those places, but I'd rather live in LA. Fuck living in the Central Valley. I'd rather live in LA. You know what I mean? And when you're like educated and you're making all this money, it's just how it goes, dude. The educated people, they end up being the elites of society, and they live in places like New York, LA, San Francisco. And blue collar people who don't have college degrees, they end up living in the less desirable areas like Fresno, Modesto, um, Lancaster, you know what I mean, Victorville, Bakersfield, you know what I mean? They live in the places where people with money just wouldn't want to live. You know what I mean? Dude, America is a capitalist society, dude. It is what it is. And, you know, one reason why lawyers make a lot of money and truck drivers don't is because lawyers are in demand more than truck drivers are. Oh, it's popping now. This truck's showing up. A lawyer is in demand more than a truck driver is. There's so many truck drivers out there. There's a lot of lawyers out there too, but the demand for them is just higher. I mean, the market dictates the value of an asset. So a truck driver, you are an asset, but I think it's quite clear that that asset isn't really that valuable anymore because there's so many truck drivers and the entry to get in is so low to become a truck driver. Um, you guys ever notice how a lot of truck drivers drive like shit and they're dangerous? You know what I mean? They're like very dangerous on the highway, right? I think the first thing you notice when you become a truck driver is how horrible and how dangerous other truck drivers are. They're very fucking dangerous. They drive like idiots. They barely get, you know, out of accident situations. They cause accidents. Truck drivers drive like fucking assholes, dude. Why is that? I think it's because, you know, a lot of them are just uneducated workers. A lot of them are stupid. You know what I mean? And you see it on the road. And why is that? Why is there a lot of stupid truck drivers out there? Because, you know, the entry, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? The bar is so low to become a truck driver. Almost anyone can do it. Not anyone, you know what I mean? Because it takes some skill to become a truck driver, but the bar has gotten so low throughout the years. They want to make 18, the barrier of entry, there you go. The barrier of entry is so low to become a truck driver that, dude, they want to make 18-year-old kids truck drivers and give them CDLs. The barrier of entry is so low versus the barrier of entry to becoming a lawyer is so high. You got to get your AA, your BA, law school, pass a bar exam. Then you got to get hired at a firm. You might have to do an internship. That's a high barrier of entry versus a truck driver. So no wonder why lawyers make all this money. And no wonder why us truck drivers are over here scratching our head wondering why we're not making money. I think it's because the market is dictating that a CDL is just not worth that much money anymore. It's just not that valuable anymore to society. It's not. There's enough truck drivers to go around that, I mean, think about it. When you go to the grocery store, are the store shelves empty or are they always full? They're always full because there's a lot of truck drivers around to deliver that freight. So that's not really a problem. You know what I mean? So why do we need to pay them all that money? They're not really in demand like that. They're just not. I think that's what the market is dictating right now. It just, it sucks because it's a trade, but I mean, honestly, the main reason why I became a truck driver is because the barrier of entry was so low. And I'm not college educated. I didn't go to college, and this was pretty easy to get into. And it was supposed to make me more money than other jobs that I was working. And it has paid me more money than other jobs that I've been making. I mean, the other jobs that I've had in the past. I'm making more money now as a truck driver. And yeah, technically, I do have a trade. But dude, when I'm driving my truck, I start thinking like, man, should I even be doing this shit? Like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? I'm living in a truck. It's nasty. I'm not making no money. Am I going to live my whole life like this? Am I going to look back on my deathbed and be like, yeah, I was a truck driver? No, dude. I'm going to probably have a lot of regret. Like, fuck, I was a truck driver. I wasted my work life in a dead end job pretty much. You know what I'm saying? When I could have went to school. I mean, if I'm in my deathbed in my 70s or my 80s or my 90s, hopefully, you know what I mean? And I'm looking back at my work life as a truck driver, I'm pretty sure I'll have regret that I didn't become a lawyer, even in my 30s when I had this idea to do so. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be looking back like, fuck, when I was 32, I was thinking about becoming a lawyer. I should have done it, you know? So, any one of you that are in trucking and you feel like it's not working out for you, and you're young enough and you got time to make a change, maybe you should make that change. Because I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to quit trucking and go to school full time, get a part time job, be broke. But in the end, I just think that'd be amazing to be a lawyer. Wouldn't that be amazing to be a lawyer, dude? To go to school for like 8 years, get it all done, and then voila, 8 years later, I'll be 40 years old, but I'll be a lawyer. I'll be starting at the bottom at an older age in my life, and that sucks, dude. But I think it would be a better decision to start in a new career at 40 with the life experience that I have, um, versus being a truck driver for the next, years after that, right? I'd be starting off at 40, but I'd be starting off as a lawyer versus I'd be 40 and I'd still be in trucking. And like I said, dude, these past 3 to 4 years, I don't have much to show for as a truck driver. I just don't. You know what I mean? And if I stay in trucking for the next 30 years, most of my life is going to be spent away from friends, family, relationships, dating. It's going to be spent right here in the truck, making carriers rich, making trucking companies rich, making warehouses rich at my expense, at the expense of my social life, family life, romantic life, just life. You know what I mean? For what? For what? For 60 grand a year, 100 grand a year if I'm lucky, when I could be a lawyer. You know what I mean? When I could go to school and get an education. Because I think I'm still young enough to do it. I just don't want to have regret, you know? Because this trucking, dude, I don't want to knock it. Because to someone else who's in a different situation than me, that's older or who just really wants to be a truck driver, yeah, you could do this and you'll have fun, you know? The thing that keeps people as a truck driver is the day-to-day grind. It's hard, but it's not hard. You know what I mean? It's like you're in a situation that's bad, but it's not bad enough for you to want to make a change. And that's dangerous. When you're in a situation that's bad, but it's not bad enough for you to want to change, that's how years of your life go by. And then you're an old man and you look back and you're like, fuck, dude, I lived my whole life pretty much in a semi truck. How sad is that? You know? And I'd be thinking, like, man, if I would have became a lawyer, imagine all of the amazing vacations I could have taken on lawyer money. Imagine the kind of cars that I could have had with lawyer money. Imagine the places that I could have lived and the homes I could have bought with lawyer money. But no, I was a truck driver. You know? What are you guys talking about? Become a lawyer for truckers. I would think there's some good money in that. maybe, I don't know. Well, yeah, that would be like wrongful termination and like missed wages and shit like that. That would be like an employment lawyer, someone that would stick up for lawyers and try to get lost wages um, because of hours of service. I don't know if you'd be able to get something out of that, but yeah, I think you will make more money and be better off staying in trucking for the next 8 years than accumulating debt and becoming a lawyer. If you think trucking is bad, it's time for you to go flip burgers. Um, with crackheads knocking on the doors. I know, right? You're in your 40s talking about going back to school and becoming a lawyer, and then first finish high school, be serious. Um, I did finish high school. I got a GED. Fucking, I'm not 40. I'm 32. What are you talking about? I'm not 40 years old. Why not go to online school to get your bachelor's degree while trucking? Because if I go back to school, I wouldn't want to do it part time. If I were to go back to school, I would quit this and just focus on school full time and maybe even like double up the curriculum just so I can get it out of the way as fast as possible. You know what I mean? If I were to go back to school, my main focus would be school, would just be getting it out of the way, right? That's why. You can't do full time with trucking. I know, dude. Yeah, you can't do anything with trucking. You can't do shit with trucking, dude. What are you gonna do? Go to school on your 34-hour reset when you gotta do laundry, grocery shop, clean your truck out, go home? No, dude. If you're a truck driver, you're not going back to school. You're not. You're gonna be doing this. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna go back to school and be serious about it, you would have to just leave trucking behind to just get out all the way. You know what I mean? I'm trucking and doing online bachelor's. I don't know. I think you'd get it done faster if you just quit. Because if you're getting a bachelor's degree, you're obviously not going to be a trucker when you're done with it. I mean, I don't know your situation, right? I can't speak for everyone. I could only speak for myself. Maybe your situation is that you have to work this job or whatever, and that's totally fine. You do what you got to do, right? Then weren't you a CFO or something? Tom, weren't you a CFO? Oh, you're talking to someone else. 32 years old. Boy, you got a lot of time for grinding. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. You do understand that for every lawyer making big money, there are dozens of traffic cases, divorces. You do understand that for every lawyer making big money, there are dozens of traffic cases, divorces, etc. Well, here's the thing. Even then, I would still be making more money as a lawyer, especially you talking about divorce lawyer? Dude, I could charge people for $300 an hour as a divorce lawyer. How much money am I going to make as a truck driver? I'll be making way more money as a divorce lawyer than as a truck driver. Way more, dude. Come on now. Even in and you talk about traffic, like accidents and shit, like an injury lawyer, dude. Injury lawyers make bank, dude. What are you talking about? Community college is now completely free here in Massachusetts. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That means your taxes went up. Look at your track record. Do it privately. What are the chances of you competing 7 years at university and passing the bar? You'd be 39 years old with a lot of debt. What are the chances of it? You just do it. Those are the chances. You just do it. If you got your mind set on something, then you just do it. You don't worry about, oh, what are the chances? What are the chances? People who think like that, what that is, the way that you're thinking, that's fear. That's what that is, right? I'm pondering the idea, but I really think I'm just gonna do it. You know. I don't think I'm going to let fear of like, oh, what are the chances? What are the chances? Dude, when you're a man and you're set on something, it'd be just like me becoming a truck driver, except for, it'd be a more long, drawn out process for the next 7 to 8 years. That's the only difference, right? That's the only difference. Talk to a lawyer about how much the fees to open up your own office versus it's not cheap. Yeah. You'll be 37 with a bank account. If I go back to school, I mean, there's other things that I could do. I could go back to school for 4 years. Something else that I would do, I don't know how long it would take, is to work in like finance. Go back to school and get whatever degree I need to work for like an investment bank. That's another thing that would make you a lot of money. If I could get a degree and I could get into like Goldman Sachs or something like that in the financial world, in the world of finance or something like that, that might only take like 4 or 5 years or whatever. Like 2 years at community, 2 years at a state university, and if you'd have to go graduate school after that, that'd be like 6 years versus 8. In 2 more years, I could be a lawyer. You know, it's not fear for me; it's fear for you. Look at your track record. I don't see it. You will be unhappy studying as hard as you have to study to get a lot of great. Study to get a lot of great. What do you? It's not fear for me, it's fear for you. Look at your track record. I don't see it. You will be unhappy studying as hard as you have to study to get a lot of great. A lot of great? What are you talking about? Money first, then follow the dream. You were talking about 7 years of hard work because university's hard work and being broke. Well, yeah, but in the end, it would pay off. You know what I mean? And being a lawyer depends on your family name too. Um, no, not really. It doesn't depend on your family name. There's a lot of lawyers that have last names that you can't even pronounce, right? There's lawyers out there that have last names, and it's like, oh, can't even say that, right? Or, dude, you don't need to open up your own firm. You could get into a badass, well-established firm and still make fucking, lawyers make like like two, three, four, $500,000 a year, that type of shit, you know. And those are partners at law firms where they're helping, the whole firm on like major cases and shit, right? Dude, trucking is it's just not it, bro. I just don't think it's it. And for me, it's not. I don't want to down talk the industry to where you guys feel I'm down talking you, because I'm not. But what I'm saying is, when you look at the grand scheme of things, with everything that you can do in life, right? If you're young enough, why would you be a truck driver? You could do other stuff, you know? And I don't know, from what I see, dude, truckers, they just don't make money like that. They just don't make a lot of money. Some of them do, but even the ones that do make, like, the most you'll make 150 grand, you know what I mean, at a good job or whatever. If you own a trucking company, now that's different. And you end up like with like 20 or 30 trucks under your own authority or whatever. Okay. Right. Okay, then. Yeah. But dude, on the grand scheme of things, dude, I just don't see it, dude. Swift Transportation has a program that covers tuition for drivers one eligible dependent in Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah, dude, but um, I wouldn't want to have Southern New Hampshire University on my, on my resume. That's like, what? You went to where? You know what I mean? They want to see UC Berkeley. They want to see UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara. They want to see Yale. You know what I mean? They want to see Ohio State. They want to see like some good colleges that you went to. You know what I mean? Let's see. If I be a lawyer, I would specialize in big rig accidents. Well, yeah. Hell yeah. You'll make hella money, dude. You sue the insurance company, you sue the carrier, and if you want to be fucked up, you sue the driver. And that happens. We know that that happens. We know that if you are in an accident and you're in an accident, people get hurt, you, the driver, can very well get sued. You know what I mean? And who's getting paid? The lawyer, you know? So yeah, you're right. I'm a truck driver, by the way. Tim Travels was a lawyer for 20 years. Now he drives a truck. Well, we don't know the backstory leading up to that. Maybe he made his money as a lawyer and he got bored with it and he has money in the bank and he just always wanted to be a truck driver. You know what I mean? And now he's doing that. Sometimes people make all their money. Like, that's the thing about being a lawyer. You could work for 10 years, make a couple $1,000,000, and then just retire and then do something else. That's why some lawyers, they become lawyers, they make all their money, they get tired of being a lawyer because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of headache. You know what I mean? It's constant work being a lawyer. They work their ass off, dude, on those cases with complex shit like dealing with the law and having to look up specific Supreme Court cases that are relative to your case and other court rulings and specific codes in the law that have to do with your case and evidence and who's at fault and insurance laws that have to do with your case and that would have to do with the settlements and all that, dude. So what a lot of lawyers do is they'll make their money for like 10 to 20 years. And like you said, they'll get out of it because they got all their money from being a lawyer. And then they'll be a truck driver. You see how that works? They'll make their real money as a lawyer. Then when they're retired, then they'll go and be a truck driver where they're not making that much money. You know what I mean? And it's a chill job compared to being a lawyer. It's very dangerous, you know what I mean? But say you're a lawyer, right? And you made all this money. You'll have enough money to go and buy your own truck. You know what I'm saying? And then you buy your own truck and you could just run where you want to run. Maybe that's why he ditched being a lawyer and became a truck driver. Nobody switches over to trucking because they want to. Most reasons they have to. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, he could have lost his law license, right? Well, we don't know. But, yeah, some people, they want to come check this out. Maybe his dad was a truck driver. Maybe he wants to travel and get paid for it, right? There's reasons to become a truck driver. But now that I've been a truck driver for this long, dude, I just really don't think the money is here. On the grand scheme of things, dude, truck drivers, they just don't make a lot of money like that. For the amount of time that they put on the job, they're always away from home. You're always at work as a truck driver. And for the little amount of money that truck drivers make, I don't really think it's worth it to be out here like that. On the grand scheme of things, for me, I don't think it's worth it for me. I just don't think it's worth it, you know? Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Right now, it's all seniority based. If you want to make money, I barely get routes in the food service job. I have almost been here for 2 years. You barely get routes. Yeah, that sucks. Um, I know the law firm my ex was laid off from paid their entry level lawyers dog shit. Well, yeah, you know, because you're starting at the bottom. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Like, I'm well aware if I graduate law school and I start at like some law firm, I'll probably be in a situation like that where I'm not making a lot of money at first. But I think down the line, once I get established into my career as a lawyer, I think I will see way more money as a lawyer than a truck driver. You know, I just Googled the numbers. Lawyers average, it's not worth it. Food service with barely any routes. That's wild. Bro, you are not going to come out of law school and start making Robert Kardashian money. Well, no, I never said that. What I'm saying is, you know, 40 years old, I would be starting as a lawyer. And then 5 years into that, I think I'll be making good money. I think I could easily see 5 years into my career as a lawyer, I could see like 200,000. I think I could easily see 200,000, if not more than that, right? 5 years into my career, I think I could see that versus being a truck driver, you know? Yeah, dude, I think it'll be worth it. I never said that right when you get out of law school, you're going to be instantly just making all this money. No, dude, you're going to be starting off at the bottom. You're going to be the paperwork person at the law firm. You're just going to be like getting the paperwork together for the cases and shit. You're going to be like damn near in the mailroom. You know what I mean? But you'll be a lawyer. And if you just stick with it, yeah. You doubt it? Um, no, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, dude. If you don't think lawyers make more money than a truck driver, I think you're biased. Don't make money like that. No, I think you guys are totally wrong. I think your average lawyer makes more money than a truck driver. If you guys really think that a lawyer doesn't make money like that, no, I think you're wrong, dude. It's a fucking lawyer, dude. Come on now. Like, even having a bachelor's and license is better than having nothing but a CDL. Yeah. Yo, I'm a truck driver, but I've been looking for a job to do while driving. What do you think? Maybe customer service. Oh, you're talking about like a part-time job outside of trucking? I don't know how you would even have the time to have a part-time job outside of trucking. Trucking requires a lot of your time. Oh, shit, what time is it? Okay, I got about an hour left that I could be on here. Let me charge this thing real quick. Not like a job when you're on the road. Lawyers make bank, y'all. Come on, I know it's crazy. Come on now. You got cats on here saying that lawyers don't make money like that. Yeah, there's obviously some lawyers that don't make money, right? Um, and we don't know the context. There might be a reason why they're not making money. They might be a failing lawyer that's not taking their job serious. You know what I mean? They might be getting fired from law firm, from this firm and that firm, because they're just not taking their job serious. They're losing cases. They're becoming more of a liability to their company where they work for. There's reasons for everything. If you don't think lawyers are making money, that's a stupid statement. That's like saying doctors don't make money like that. Are you? Yeah, seriously. I know it's a different profession, but for you to say that lawyers don't make money like that, you might as well say that doctors don't make money like that. Oh, dude. I've never been happier since leaving the industry. What are you doing now? If I can do it, if I can do it, I'll have you talk with a couple of friends and family members. You can hear it from them and choose for yourself. Um, how about no? Maybe helping customer service on the phone or something. Any ideas? Um, I don't really know about customer service like that. Those type of jobs, I just don't know about that shit. I've never worked those type of jobs. Customer service, I've worked in warehouses, construction, at a factory, at the Tesla factory, construction, now trucking. I've never done customer service. I don't know. If you're a truck driver, dude, I don't know how you got time to get a part-time job. If you're a truck driver, dude, you probably don't have money like that. I mean, not money. If you're a truck driver, you don't got time like that. Your job is going to keep you running. You should get into the trades. I am union electrician. I make over $100 per hour on the check. That's good. Like IBEW. Um, yeah, that's something else to get into, right? I just don't know, dude. I just think like the trades are good. That's good money. It is. I'm not saying that that's not good money, right? I just want to go after something bigger. You know what I'm saying? As close as you get to a lawyer is an accident attorney. That's good. I wish I could sell stuff on the phone while I drive. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, my brother and his wife are doctors. They live paycheck to paycheck, as well as their colleagues. Um, I think you're just talking shit now, right? You're telling me there's doctors out there that are living paycheck to paycheck? Um, we don't know the context behind that. We don't know their situation. They might have a bunch of kids. They might be paying off all their debt. Come on now. We don't know what type of, like, are they actual, like, are they practicing medicine, or do they just have doctor at the end of their name and they're not even in a hospital? You know what I mean? Come on now. This Solomon project, dude, I don't want to be disrespectful, but you sound like an idiot. You just sound fucking stupid. I think you're over here trolling. Um, you know why I think topics like this get people into a disagreement is because when I say that I think I might be wasting my time and my life, my work life, my education, I mean my work life, I might be wasting my work life as a truck driver, and I'm thinking about quitting and going back to school and becoming a lawyer. I think when you talk about it and you give the reasons why, I think it gives active truck drivers something to think about, that they too deep down might be feeling the same way. And then they say stupid shit like lawyers don't make money, doctors don't make money. That's just something stupid to say. You know what I mean? Yeah, obviously there are some lawyers out there that don't make money. It's probably because they're not good at their job, right? It's probably because they're a fuck up of a lawyer. We don't know the situation. We need to know the context about why these certain people aren't making money like that. When you just come on here and you say that lawyers don't make money, you sound like a fool. You do. And I think the reason why someone would say that in this type of a situation, in this conversation, is because by me pointing out the fact that truck drivers don't make a lot of money like that, and maybe you should quit and go back to school and get into something that is going to make you a lot of money, I think that gets people thinking, and it might get people upset. And they might be getting upset at that statement because they know that it's true. They might feel that it's true for them. When I say that I don't want to be in my 60s and be a retired truck driver and look back and see that I wasted all of my life in the truck and I missed out on a lot of family events. I missed out on a lot of just being there with friends and family. I missed out on romantic opportunities because I was just always away in the truck. And I look at what I have to show for, and it's not much versus if I were to quit and go back to school and become a medical doctor, a lawyer, you know what I mean? Even something else like an x-ray technician, but how I'm specifically saying, just like a lawyer, it gets the gears turning in people's heads, and people might start thinking the same thing, like, fuck, he's right. You know, some people that might be, you know, in disagreement with this, they might be looking at their situation, and if they're honest with themselves, they might actually agree with what I'm saying to the point where it kind of makes them upset, and it might make them feel like, fuck, I am out here wasting my time. And I think that's when we hear stuff like lawyers don't make money and doctors don't make money. It's the truth. It's the truth, dude. Truck drivers, you know who doesn't make money like that? Truck drivers. Truck drivers don't make money like that. You know? Some who could get into like Walmart private fleet. It's the garbage truck. Some who could get into like Walmart private fleet. I heard ABF is paying good money. UPS. Yeah, certain jobs out there, they're good. They're good, you know? But even then, dude, like I said, when you really look at the big picture, at everything that you could be doing, there's not really money in this shit like that. There's just not. Right? For you to live your whole life in the truck when you could have went back to school and done something else. Is trucking worth it like that? I just don't think it is, dude. I think you could go back to school. I think you could go back to school and do something else. The Solomon Project. If you really were a stockbroker, I would love to talk to you. I'll pay you to teach me about options. Jeffrey, don't fall for that shit. People come onto these live streams and they could say that they're from the year 2053, right? People come on here in these comments and, dude, yeah, no. Don't fall for that shit, dude. I'm telling you, Jeff. So let me catch up on these. Let me get what I'm saying. As close as you get. If you ever asked any lawyers what they make, you're going to find out most lawyers make less than truck drivers. Plus, you get to buy all kinds of suits, and let's not forget the student loans. No, you're wrong. Most lawyers don't make less than truck drivers. That's a false statement right there. Most lawyers make way more than truck drivers. You sound stupid. You do. Midlife trucker, you sound dumb. You do. You don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying a job while you're on the road trucking. I do local, make $2K a week, but I want more. I want to make more while I'm driving, multitasking. Be careful doing that. Multitasking when you're driving. That's how you end up in an accident. You know? Too much debt. Let's see. So I'm trying to get ideas. Be careful with the multitasking driving, dude. When you're driving your truck, you need to have all of your gears going on driving the truck. right? You got to have all of your senses on, the Smith system, scanning ahead, making sure there's no accidents or no slowdowns ahead, checking your mirrors, following distance, not going too fast, slowing down around curves. You can't be multitasking when you're driving. The most multitasking you could do is wear a headset and be on a phone call. But dude, if your mind isn't on the road when you're driving a truck, you know what I mean? To the point where even if you got into a fight with your old lady and you're driving a truck and you're thinking about the argument you just got into it with your old lady, literally that's how you hit people. That's how you rear end people. Because you might just be driving and get spaced out in your thoughts, and then boom, you didn't see the slowdown that was right in front of you. Don't be multitasking when you're driving, dude. You gotta be careful. You want to be a lawyer is like asking a rapper to be a singer. Let's see. I wouldn't go back to OTR or local trucking. I'm staying local with my next journey. They say 1 in 3 Americans making more than 100,000 are paycheck to paycheck. From what I read, it tends to be related to student debt and the cost of living. Yeah, I could see that happening. You know, a lot of people work in tech. When you look at that stuff in the media, a lot of people work in these corporate jobs, right? And I wouldn't go to school to work in like some corporate office or in tech. Those are the people that are getting laid off, and those are the people that are the ones, like you say, living paycheck to paycheck. I'm telling you, dude, if I was going to go back to school, I'd go back to school to make as much money as I can, right? Um, does trucking require a lot of your time? How much time do you spend on video games a week? That could be spent in online school. You only take 1 or 2 classes every 8 weeks. Not if you're full time. You could stack on more classes than that and get it done quicker. And yes, trucking takes a lot of your time, a whole lot. Let me see. I'm not trolling. Yeah, Salomon Project, I think you are trolling, especially since you said you're a stockbroker. I think you're trolling for sure. Entry-level lawyers do not make more money than truck drivers. I'm looking into healthcare or tech. They both are prominent careers. Be careful with tech, dude. A lot of people are getting laid off with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, entry-level lawyers, a lot of them don't make a lot of money. But what I'm saying is when you're 3 or 4 or 5 years into being a lawyer, yeah, you're going to make way more money than a truck driver. Come on now. Don't be stupid. You really think truck drivers make more than lawyers? If you guys really think that, whoever thinks that is stupid. You're dumb. I'm sorry, you're fucking dumb. The 3 years that I spent in trucking, if I were to spend that at let's just say I did the good old boy thing, and at 18 I went to college right away, and then I went to law school. You know what I'm saying? 3 years into working at a law firm versus 3 years starting off as a truck driver, who's going to be better off financially? You think someone who's starting off as a truck driver is going to be better off financially than someone starting off as a lawyer? If you think that, you're stupid. You're just dumb. Even if it's like a truck driver who's, let's say they're 10 or 15 years into trucking, the lawyer is going to have the potential to make way more money than the truck driver that's been in the game for 10 or 15 years. The lawyer who's in his career and who's going to be a lawyer for the foreseeable future is going to out-earn the truck driver. Are you guys dumb? Are you guys dumb? Come on now. I'm a nurse. You want to talk stress and hard work? Go ahead. I won't step on any of you. But why do you think I'm watching this? Yeah, nurses work really hard. Hella hard, dude. Let's see. Yeah, it's bad. It's just life. You can earn the right, you can earn that right back and pay it off. Well, yeah. I think all this pushback that I'm getting from people that are saying lawyers don't make money, which is a dumb thing to say. It's a dumb thing to say because a lot of you guys are repeating the same thing. You guys are saying that new lawyers, starting off lawyers, don't make a lot of money, which is true. And I said that from the beginning of this stream when I started talking about becoming a lawyer, quitting trucking and going to school to becoming a lawyer. Yeah, obviously, lawyers that are out of law school aren't going to be raking in the dough like that. They're not. You're not going to graduate from law school and get into some big case where you're going to win a multi-million-dollar settlement. Duh. No one said that. What I'm saying is when you're a lawyer and you're about 5 years into your career as a lawyer, you're going to be making more money than what you would have been making 5 years as a truck driver. And if you don't think that, you're either stupid or you're not being honest with yourself, or you just want to argue because you know what I'm saying is true. Right? It has to be that. People start saying dumb shit when they don't want to face reality. I think that's what it is. Some of you guys who are truck drivers, you know, especially when you break down the amount of time that you spend on the job versus what you're seeing in your bank account after you get paid, your paycheck. When you look at your paycheck and you divide it up by the amount of time that you spend on the job, I think a lot of you guys realize that truck drivers don't make a lot of money. They don't. A lot of truck drivers make less than minimum wage, right? Owner operators included. So when I come on here and I say that I'm thinking about quitting trucking and becoming a lawyer, just the fact that I'm saying I'm thinking about quitting trucking and going back to school because trucking just doesn't make money like that. I think when I say that, I think a lot of you guys know that to be true. And that's why I'm getting these stupid comments like lawyers don't make money. Doctors don't make money. Truckers are the ones who don't make money. And I think that's where a lot of this pushback is coming from. Let's see. I stay in the Bay, but I work in Stockton. Oh, damn, that's like opposite right there. If you decide, let me see. If you decide to become a lawyer, you can forget romance. You'll be 39 by the time you graduate and pass the bar. Then you'll have to work 70 hours a week to prove yourself in an offer. Um, yeah, this midlife trucker guy is an idiot. He's just so stupid. What does any of that have to do with romance? What does it have to do with romance? Right? So what I think, so let me try to understand what you're saying. Okay. You're saying a lawyer is going to be too busy to date. You don't think lawyers aren't getting married? You don't think lawyers go home every day after work to their wife at their house? Are you dumb? You might be. I think you are. By the stuff that you're saying in this live stream, I think you might be just stupid, you know? That or you're upset. Fucking, the most success that I've gotten in dating is when I was broke, didn't have nothing. I've always worked, but I'm talking about the times when I was broke and I wasn't making a lot of money and I had a lot of time to date. That's usually when I do good with dating, is when I'm not having to work that much and I'm like bullshitting and I end up dating, right? when you're a truck driver and you're away, you know what I mean, and you're on the road, that's when you don't date. You know, some of these truck drivers that talk about they got girlfriends here, 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 here. That might be the case. I wonder how that's the case when all you're doing is stopping at a truck stop for 10 hours, going to sleep, and having to wake up and leave. I think a lot of truck drivers that say that they have girlfriends all over the country, I think they're lying or they're talking about the women that they pay for, right? Whatever makes them sleep at night. But you said if you become a lawyer, you can forget romance and you'll be 39 by the time you graduate. You do know that a lot of people start dating in college, right? Midlife trucker, you're showing everyone that you are an idiot. You're 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 dumb, right? Let's see. Let's see. Let me go back to these comments. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Well, I'm not interested in discouraging you. Go for it. By the way, I'm a former stockbroker. You can always test me if you wish. No, I think you're full of shit. I don't think you're a stockbroker. I think you're a troll. Um, yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, definitely not a stockbroker. Truck drivers, especially the older ones, are in denial. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it really is. I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. I think a lot of older truck drivers that just be like they're older and they've been in this for so long, you know what I mean? They're in denial. I think people get into denial because, especially when you spent a lot of time in a certain line of work and a lot of your life has been spent over there, right? And you look back on it, there's a lot of regret and there's a lot of resentment towards yourself. Like, damn, dude, I spent all the time in the truck, right? And I think it's hard to admit that you made a mistake or you feel like you made a mistake. So you end up saying stupid stuff like doctors and lawyers don't make money. You end up saying stupid things like truck drivers make more money than doctors and lawyers when you know that that's not the case, right? But you just say it. And the reason why they say that and the reason why they're in denial is because of their pride. Men have a lot of pride, a lot of ego. This is why a lot of women, especially the women who are gold diggers, they know how to work men fairly easily because they just stroke our ego or they work our ego to get what they need out of us, right? I think that's what it is. And when you see some of these, like you see it in the comments right here, a lot of these old, grumpy, in denial truck drivers making stupid statements, saying things like doctors and lawyers don't make money. Well, it's not just trolling. It might not even be trolling. What it is, it's them, they're offended by what I'm saying because they're in denial. They're in denial because when I say that truck drivers don't make money like that, and when I really say like you're making 100 grand, well, how long did it take for you every week to get that paycheck that equals up to 100 grand at the end of the year? Now tally up the amount of hours that you spent on the job versus your paycheck that you get each week, and you'll see that you probably make like $12 an hour, you know? So, you know, they don't really want to face that because they have an ego that's hurt, and then they just say stupid things. I think that's why they're in denial, right? I just want to be healthy and happy. Really don't care about the money. Well, it's. I'll tell you what, Jeremy. I'm reading your comment because a lot of people were mentioning your name. You just want to be healthy and happy and don't really care about the money. It's going to be hard to do that as a truck driver. It is. Maybe if you work a local job like U.S. Foods, but one thing that those food service companies will tell you is by the end of your career with them, your body is going to be really beat up. And there's your health. You know what I mean? Your joints, your discs, all that shit's going to go out. You know what I mean? And there's your health. I'm not saying you can't be healthy as a truck driver because you can. You can, especially if like you got your own truck and it's not slip seat and you got a refrigerator in there and you're able to get off the truck or like bobtail to a grocery store from time to time, or it wouldn't have to be time to time. You would have to make time for it every week to go grocery shopping and cook in the truck. And it's possible to be healthy living in the truck. It is. It's just really hard, right? If you really want to be healthy, um, one thing you could do is just stop being a truck driver and do something else, right? Well, I mean, let's just face it. One reason why people don't want to give up this trucking job is because it's not just a job, it is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that allows you to live in the truck and not have any bills and save up a lot of money, more money than the average person could save up on their own, because the average person on their own has a lot of bills. They have rent, utilities, they pay for life. When you're a truck driver, you don't pay for life. You live right here at work. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So a lot of guys don't want to give that up. And because it gets real cozy in here. It gets comfortable, right? You can play your video games, you can live stream, um, right? It gets cozy. That's why a lot of guys don't want to give it up. And switching a career path is hard for people. It's hard for people to stop what they're doing that's making them money and to switch career paths and do something else. That is a hard transition. It's easy to get into a line of work when you're an unskilled worker, but when you're a truck driver, you are a skilled worker. This is a skill right here. So to go from this skill to another skill, for a lot of people, that's it's a lot of hassle and they'd rather not do it. So they just stay in this line of work. I've seen a lot of truck drivers that are retired who don't have shit. I've seen some obviously who retired and have a good healthy retirement. But dude, it's just I've seen it, dude. I've seen this stuff, man. Truck drivers, they just don't make a lot of money. One thing I noticed when I started at CR England, a lot of the truck drivers who lived on site in their truck in the yard, I noticed that a lot of guys who are divorced end up being truck drivers. They get divorced by their wife. Their wife gets them for a lot, if not close to everything. And these poor guys, they end up being truck drivers that are living in their truck because they can't afford to not live in their truck because they went through an expensive divorce. I met quite a few guys like that who were living in their truck because they got divorced, Now, those are extreme cases, but dude, you make like $1,000 a week as a company driver. $1,400 a week. So what you guys are saying, like Midlife Trucker, what you're saying is that you think that there's lawyers that don't make $1,000 a week. That's what you're saying. You're saying that there's lawyers out there that get paid $600 a week. And again, maybe that might be the case for someone who's just starting out, Even then, I'm pretty sure they're at least making $1,000 a week, right? If they're just starting out. But 4 or 5 years, into their career, when they're doing so many more tasks at their law firm, they're going to be out earning you as a lawyer. As a truck driver, the lawyers are going to be making more money than you. And It's just a fact, dude. Lawyers make more money than truck drivers. Most people who have college degrees, most of them, most of them make more money than people who didn't go to college. That's just a fact, dude. That's just a fact, right? Now I know teachers don't make more money than people who didn't go to college, right? I know teachers don't make shit. Um, Someone who got a useless degree in like humanities or in arts or whatever, yeah, they're not going to make shit. But no, dude, if you go to school and you work in the medical field, you work in, you know, the legal area, you work in corporate finance, educated people with college degrees, they make more money than truck drivers. It is what it is, dude. And if you guys don't believe that, I think you guys are kind of lost in the sauce that college is a scam, college is a waste of money. I even posted a few videos saying that trucking might be better than college, but that's only if you're getting a degree that's useless. And that's only if you're going into college and you're young and you're out of high school and you don't know what you want to do. So you switch your major a lot. And then when you get out, you know, I mean, you end up with like some bullshit degree that might get you into a job, but you're constantly getting laid off, laid off, laid off, like the tech people, the corporate people, people who work in marketing. Those people are getting laid off like crazy versus a truck driver who has more job security than someone who works in corporate marketing or whatever. Yeah, then it's worth it to not go to college. But if you're going to go to college and you're going to be uh, even like a nurse, you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, you're going to be an x-ray technician, you're going to be a scientist, you're going to be a chemist, you're going to be better off than someone who didn't go to college. That's a fact. Even someone said an engineer earlier. You go to college to be an engineer, you're going to be a lot better off than someone who didn't go to college. You go to college to be an architect and you end up working for some big construction firm like Webcor or something. Yeah, you're going to be better off as an architect than a truck driver or maybe even an electrician. You know what I mean? And that's just a fact. That's not saying that there aren't obviously electricians, union electricians, right? And electricians who have their own business who aren't millionaires and who don't make good money because they do. They obviously do. But dude, compared to people who are college educated, in general, for the most part, college educated people out earn non college educated people, including truck drivers. And that's just a fact, dude. Go be a nurse. You think trucking is hard? Well, I think you said that, Jimmy, because you're a nurse and you're not a truck driver. Obviously, being a nurse is really hard. But one thing, I mean, the jobs are different, right? Being a nurse is really hard, extremely hard. You guys deal with people shitting on each other. You guys deal with violent patients that might attack you, all type of shit, right? The complex stuff that you guys do with your job, a lot of the overtime. What we deal with is, having to drive over deadly terrain that could kill us, that could see us off of the side of the cliff, and we could die. We can end up in a situation where we go to work and end up in cuffs because we got into an accident, and the cops saying that we're the one at fault, even though we got cut off. Now we're in jail. Yeah, truck drivers go to work and end up in jail by the end of the shift, right? Um, Driving around sleep deprived. You do drive around fatigued as a truck driver from time to time. Every now and then it does happen. It does happen, especially if you're out here running your own business. Um, but yeah, I'm not saying that being a nurse isn't hard. It's Yeah, being a truck driver it's very stressful. It's just those are two different jobs. One isn't worse than the other, I don't think, right? Being a nurse might be worse than that. It might. I don't think you got to worry about falling off the side of a cliff in a loaded trailer loaded tractor trailer when you're a nurse. I don't think you need to worry about that, right? That there's other things that you worry about, but you're not worried about that. You know what I mean? You're not worried about driving through Dallas, Texas and hitting black ice and you killed somebody in your truck. I don't think you're worried about that when you're a nurse, you know? I got about like 20 more minutes on here. All my friends have bachelor degrees. They make 100K plus. Trucking has changed. E-logs have made trucking a prison. Still easy shit. Um, well, yeah, it's it's a, it's a chill job for the most part. It's very dangerous, but yeah, a lot of it has to do with the ELD. And you know what it is too? It's just the workload. The freight never stops, and they just want you to run, 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 run. If I buy a truck and I hire someone to drive it, I'm going to want them to drive that truck because that truck is going to be my moneymaker. And that's trucking right there. You know what I mean? Let's see. They say college is a scam because the job market's weak. So why go into debt and have a degree only to end up going through a temp agency? Um, Only thing about college is if you plan it right, um, you will always have a job and potentially make more money. No advancement in trucking, no seniority. Trucking, even local, is 70 per week and no overtime. Yeah, you see what I mean? You see what I'm saying? I mean, okay, so let's look at trucking versus a lawyer, since that's what we've been talking about. Okay, so when you're a truck driver, what is your advancement as a truck driver? You start off at 50 cents a mile, and you work your way up to 60 cents a mile, and that's going to take you 10 years. So each year you get 1 cent per mile, or maybe 1.5 or 2 cents a mile each year, and that's your advancement. If you work for a mega carrier, you could become a trainer, and then that's your um, advance, advancement, right? You could get better loads, and that's your advancement as a shit. As a truck driver, that's your advancement. You're right. There's not that much of an advancement as a truck driver. Now, if you're union, like Mr. By the Mile at ABF, you probably have more advancement over there, but that's one job. ABF, UPS, those are two jobs out of the entire industry, right? Um, but you're still just a truck driver, even at a union job like Cisco, US Foods, or whatever, ABF, UPS. And those are just a small handful of jobs out of the entire trucking industry, which is mostly non union. Even at those union jobs, you're still just a truck driver, right? You're getting raises, but you're still just a truck driver. Your advancement as a lawyer is you start off doing paperwork, filing paperwork for the law firm for the cases. That way, when they go to court, the attorneys have everything that they need for their client because you were in the office at the law firm filing all the paperwork and making sure that it got filed correctly. That way the attorney doesn't look like a fool in front of the judge. Very important job when you first start off as a lawyer. And that's where they're testing you to make sure that you're competent enough to be at the firm. So, how we just said you start off at 50 cents a mile as a truck driver and you work your way up to 60 cents a mile 10 years later. Well, 10 years later, as a lawyer, you started off filing papers for the cases at the law firm. 10 years later, you're representing clients in court, right? Or you're investigating, or you're doing other shit. You're you're meeting up with judges or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you've worked your way up and you're making way more way more money 10 years into your law career than you were when you first started off. And your title has probably changed. You'd probably made enough money to buy in to be a partner at the firm. Your advancement as a lawyer, or, you know what I mean, as an architect, as an engineer, as a doctor, hell, even as a nurse, your advancement in these these jobs where you need to go to college is, you know, is way better than just being a truck driver where your advancement is you get like 1 cent per mile more. So you're right, there really isn't a lot of advancement as a truck driver. It's more of like, you know, one thing that CR England did when I started is they sold me on the lifestyle of a truck driver. Like, oh, you're going to be sitting in the office and you're going to be sitting first seat, you know, like first class in the office, and your office is the beautiful scenery of America. You're going to get to see and go places that most people will never go to. You're going to see the beautiful Colorado Rockies. You're going to see Montana. You're going to see the East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest. You're going to see it all, and it's going to be beautiful. Um, well, what about the money? Well, you see that when you get paid, you don't get shit. You know what I mean? So, I taken off a month. I am off a month in the summer. I have paid child support, bought a home, paid off a nice vehicle, camper. I save a lot. Um, where where can I go and control my life daily? Where are you in the money and trucking is where you are in the money and trucking is hauling fuel. The ones that got their lawyer license in their 20s don't get into the money until they're in their 50s. Um, that's not always true. That can be true for some cases, but it's not always true. It's not, you know, it's not always true. No, 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 no. Dude, I've met plenty of lawyers. Like when I was an Uber driver in Las Vegas, I'd pick up these guys from like these hotels, and they're talking about how they just spent 20 grand just on their gambling when they were in Vegas, and now they're flying back to LA, and then they'll be back the next week, you know, and I've picked them up again, and then they're back, you know what I mean? And they weren't all in their 50s. Some of them were in their 20s. Some of them were in their 30s and 40s. Okay? That's not always the case. It's just not. You know, I know a lot of the stuff that you guys hear on the internet, because we spend so much time on the internet these days, because we work a lot, we tend to hear things on the internet and we tend to like really take it at face value, you know what I mean, and really just run with it. It's not always the case. There's context to every situation. Lawyers make money. It just it just is what it is, dude. Yeah, they make a wide range of money, but dude, they make way more money than truck drivers, and dude, they make money. You become a lawyer as well. Kiss, sex goodbye. They work insanely long hours. Um, no, it's not true. Yeah, they work long hours, but you're not kissing like your love life goodbye. No, it's not true. You do that when you're a truck driver. You're always on the road. When you're a lawyer, yeah, you work long hours, but so do construction workers. Dude, I used to work 18-hour shifts on some job sites when I was a construction worker. But dude, that's when I was dating like a lot of women when I was younger and I was working in construction. I was living in the same city. I was coming back home every day, and on the weekends I was still in the same spot. I wasn't like a truck driver where I'm here, there, here, there, here, there, and I'm always in the truck. This is when you don't date. This is when you have no life, right? Um, no, dude. Who are women asking for nowadays? Let's just be real. A lot of women who want guys to make a lot of money, who do they want to date? Who do they want to date? They want to date lawyers, doctors, CEOs. They want to date guys who have money, right? They want to date guys who work in a corporate office, dude. What are you guys talking about? Oh, man. Pick your lane, no quick, rich, disgusting. Trucking is unfounded exception as my income has dropped because of foreigners. Oh, God. So you're going to blame the foreigners because your income dropped? I think that's lazy. I think that's stupid. I don't think the foreigners are the reason why your income dropped, right? I think you want to get into the driver's seat, and because you're a truck driver, you just want to make money. I mean, what? I mean, what value are you bringing to your employer to where they would pay you more money? No, but no, I'm not going to bring more value to my employer. I'm just going to blame it on the foreigners. Stupid. It's dumb. And that's not saying that foreigners aren't a problem in trucking, right? Yeah. Anyone, foreign or not, what's going on in trucking is there's too many truck drivers, right? It's not just foreigners, dude. It's, you guys know that there's more, native born Americans with CDLs than foreigners. You guys are aware of that, right? That there's more of us than them, right? That is a fact, really. You are wrong. I've been out here 31 years. You are wrong. No, I think you're wrong. To blame it on foreigners, you sound stupid. You sound lazy. And yeah, it's just a lazy argument. Oh, it's the foreigners' fault. It's the foreigners. You just, like, if you were to record yourself and go around showing people that you say that, most people would say that you just sound ignorant. To just blame your problems on foreigners? How about you take some self accountability and, like, hold on, maybe my income dropped because trucking isn't that valuable anymore. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the fact that there's so many truck drivers now that the market is flooded with truck drivers to the point where your CDL, it's been inflated, like, or deflated, what I'm saying? Just like the dollar, right? There's more CDLs in circulation. Yeah. And it's not all foreigners. There's more American CDL holders than foreigners, dude. So for you to blame it on foreigners, you sound like an idiot. You just do. You sound like an old, grumpy, miserable truck driver. That's what you sound like, But no, it's the foreigners. Yeah, keep telling that to yourself. Truck drivers should make more than teachers. That's a good statement. I think both of them should make more. I don't know who should make more than the other, but I do think they both need a raise. Dating in 2025 is cooked. Social media and dating apps ruined it for the average man. That might be true, It's not cooked. It's not ruined, but it's definitely a lot harder. I'll tell you that. Well, what you do is just don't date on social media. Bring it back to real life. You could still do that. You could still date in real life. No. Yeah, what I'm saying is you have not done any research on what attorneys make. I have. They make good money, right? My uncle is a corporate lawyer. He's a multimillionaire. Yeah, but Midlife Trucker doesn't believe that because Midlife Trucker, he's over here making himself sound like an idiot. I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but you're definitely making yourself sound stupid. I gotta get going, guys. So yeah, um, I haven't made the decision all the way yet, but look, man, I just got this idea for myself, dude. Like, I want to live in a major city, and I want to make a lot of money. I want to drive a nice car. I want to have a lot of money in the bank, and I just don't see that for myself in trucking. I just don't. These 3 going on 4 years in trucking, I just don't see that for myself in trucking. I see myself in trucking, probably leasing, becoming a lease operator. And then one day when I save up enough money, becoming a full-on owner operator, and I'll make decent money, you know. But in the back of my mind, if I don't, you know, if I don't do this decision and get an education and become a lawyer, or say not even a lawyer, say just anything with a 4-year degree and or whatever, you know, if I don't try to make more money outside of trucking, and I feel like I'm settling with trucking, and I feel like there's much more out there. I don't think truckers make a lot of money, dude. From what I've seen, they just don't make money like that. And for me, this has always been about money. I don't care about the love of trucking. I'm not in love with trucks. I'm not in love with being on the road. I'm in love with money. This has always been about money. In this country, in America, you need money. You need money, dude. I know it's the Mexican flag, but next time I'll try to get the American flag if we're going to talk about America. Um, you need money in this country. Money is really important. And truck drivers, they just don't make a lot of money for the most part. They just don't, dude. I know some do. I'm not saying all, but some, but most of them don't. Some of them have decent jobs and they make good money, right? Most of them, they don't. And when you look at the grand scheme of things, everything that you could do in life, I feel like I'm selling myself short in trucking to the point where I'm seriously considering just quitting and going back to school. I think if I give up 8 years of my life, which would be my 30s, because I'm 32 right now, by the time I'm 40, I'll be set. I'll be a lawyer. I'll be in a much better career where I'll have the opportunity to make way more money, dude. Way more money, right? If I just stay in trucking, I think 8 years later, I'm going to look back at this moment with regret, and I just don't want to have regret. You know what I'm saying? So be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I got to go check in, and I'll see you guys later. I got a vlog coming out like in a day or two. I got to edit it. I shot everything. I just got to edit it. It's going to be about why I prefer sleeper cabs over day cabs. And yeah, I might quit. I might go back to school. If I do, I'll keep you all posted. Peace out. What up, Rich?